They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet. Gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen. In Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. Hello, Miss Farmer.
Hi, how are you?
If you ate today, thank a farmer.
That's right.
You know what? We try to do as much as we can right here, and we also deal with a lot of people who grow and raise food, and we're so appreciative of their efforts. Now, something happened here recently. You remember last August we brought Apex in.
That's right.
Big bull to breed to her. When we get a calf, and then we would hopefully maybe bring another calf in.
Right.
Well, this time, we figured the calf was coming around June. We were out of town in May, and I got a report that there were buzzards over here. I immediately thought, uh-oh. When I came home, now this is kind of graphic, if, you know, some people may want to turn their heads, but here's what we found. Just the remains of the calf. And it was a fully developed calf.
Yeah.
But what happens is these buzzards, now I'm going to talk about this in detail. I talked to the Department of Fish and Wildlife, and they gave me a printout of what to do about this. You can take matters into your own hands to some degree to try to limit the numbers of these things. But getting to the point, here's Maybelle, depressed. She's got an udder full of milk. So I call my hero, Dudley Darnell. Big help. He knows cattle too. He's always raising some calves, and he just happened to have a 4-week-old little fella that he'd already steered and was ready to go. He was bottle feeding this calf. So this calf came in and he was keyed on people.
Right.
Then I was the mama.
You were his mother. He loved you.
Yeah, so he still looks at me like, I love you. But we came in here the other day to try to introduce him, and it did not work well. She was kicking him, so on and so forth, but her, again, she had an udder full of milk. So what we did was secured her feet with a rope.
Wish you could have seen it.
It wasn't cruel. It
No.
wasn't in a forceful manner. It was just enough to let her know she couldn't kick him in the face.
Right.
And once he started taking that milk in, and when she smelled that her processed milk coming out of him, she accepted him.
So she has a baby now.
So she has a baby now. They've been in here 5 days. So today, and in fact, right now, we're going to let them out. Maybelle hasn't had grass. She's been eating old hay and some sweet feed, which she likes, but we're going to let her out today. And then we've got some really cool recipes. Another neighbor up the road, Monty and his wife were coming down, called me the other day. They saw our smoking show on Smoking a Turkey.
Right.
Do you know how many people called me and said they bought a smoker because they saw that segment?
A lot.
So first of all, let's let them out. She needs some grass. Then we'll go visit with Monty and his wife, show them how to use the smoker step by step. But first, let's see what happens when we let her out. You called me the other day.
All right.
This is Monty and Michelle Chapel, live right up the road, neighbors. He says, I'm going to surprise my wife and I'm going to get her a smoker. He said, but I need to know how to use it. He said, Farmer, did you ever tell anybody how to use that daggone thing? And I said, well, we've got everything set up down here. Summertime's coming. We're going to grill. We're going to smoke. We're going to do more of that stuff. But you almost shamed me into it.
I did shame you into it.
What happened?
I haven't argued about that. You know, I want to get her a smoker, and I didn't know what to get her. I call you up, the only person I know that really cooks like that. And I said, hey, you know, Tim, you got to help me out, brother. I said, I need a smoker. What do you recommend? I think you got right down to this model and looked it up and, you know, surprised her with that. And I said, hey, now how do you use it? And that brought it to this.
So apparently, Michelle's going to do most of the smoking because he wants me to show you how. So that means you're dismissed. All right, Michelle, so it's up to you. Digital is the way to go. Why is that? Because you can set your time and your temperature. You walk away. This is a master built. You can find them at Lowe's. I think you can find them at Walmart, Bass Pro, Cabela's. They're widely available. And they're fairly cheap, $150 max. Let's look at the inside of this thing. So this is you want something wet to keep moisture in here.
Okay.
Now you can I have put apple juice, orange juice, cranberry juice. You want a nice, now think about this, your smoke and your heat are rotating around in this.
Okay.
So as this juice evaporates, it's inside of this. So it adheres and that taste goes into your meat. Element is down here. Your chips you put in from the side so you don't have to open the door. They go into the side. I've already got some getting wet over here. You don't want to put them in dry. I usually use hickory, but you can use apple, you can use cherry, you can use pecan, you can use all kinds of stuff. But the first thing you need to do is season it. In order to season it, let's set our temperature. We're just going to hold this down. We're going to go 275 for 3 hours. So you're going to burn off any kind of chemicals or anything on the metal. Then we're going to set time. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 hours. Then we're going to hit set time again. So what you're going to do now with this particular model, your vent, we're going to open it all the way up. We're going to go about, I don't know, 2 hours and 15 minutes like that before we put the wood in. You're going to turn this till it comes out. Now, know that this is right next to the element, so it's going to be hot, so don't touch it.
Okay.
But let's drop some chips in there.
Okay.
And just kind of get it about half full. And then all we're going to do at this point is we're going to put it back in. Then we're going to turn that, and what that does is it dumps that out into that little pan.
Okay.
And then when the heat hits it, the smoke comes out, and you got smoke rolling, that's what seasons your food. So let that go till it shuts down at 3 hours.
Now, what about digital thermometers? Should I insert one in the meat, therefore I won't have to open up the door?
You can do that. There are aftermarket things that you can put in here. Basically, your little wire will come out, and you'll have a reading. You can set it right on top of this.
Okay, now the drip pan. How often do I need to dump it, or how often does it need to be dumped?
That's a great thing about this particular unit. You can visually take a glance at it and say, oh, we're getting full here. So, you can actually scoop some out of it. If you don't want to move the whole thing, you can slide it off and pour it out real quick. But you know what? There's so much fun. Okay. And I thank Monty for buying you a birthday present. And I thank him for calling me, because sometimes we kind of forget the basics. Because we've been doing it for so long. I've been messing around these things for years.
I'm a newbie.
Any more questions?
No, I think I'm ready to go.
Let me know how it turns out.
I will.
I'll be watching him.
I will.
All right. So they're out. She's being very protective of him.
And he's being bad. He's a bad boy. He's
well,
running.
He's feeling his oats.
Yes, he is.
But she's so protective. Where's that buzzard feather? That's in her mind. Let me tell you what, they're pretty daggone smart. She wants to protect him so bad.
That's so sweet.
He's running around.
Yeah, she loves him so much already.
But anyway, let's talk about some facts and figures about black vultures versus turkey vultures. It's the black vultures that are the bad guys here.
And they're not native here. They've come in,
and they're not
correct?
native. So I'm going to sit down and read you a few facts and figures and tell you some of the things you can do to control this. And we'll also show you some pictures of black versus turkey vultures to see the difference between the two. All right, I've switched areas so I wouldn't get run over by frolicking cows and calves. Now let's talk about problems with vultures. This is put out by the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources. There are two types of vultures in Kentucky, black vultures and the turkey vulture. Turkey vultures are pretty common. They have the red head. Turkey vultures don't take live prey. They feed on animals that are already deceased. The black vulture was fairly rare. And I remember starting to see them come in several years ago, and I thought, wow, that's different looking. Black vultures will feed on live prey, usually newborn or sick and dying animals. Predation on livestock by black vultures is not common, but has been increasing in recent years. If this continues to happen, or if it does happen and you want to try to take care of it, landowners can apply for a permit to reduce the black vulture population on their farm, and the permit is issued by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. To contact them, it's 502-254-1592. 502-254-1592. Please take photos of the damage. It's illegal to kill them without the permit, but you can harass them away by shooting off fireworks, spraying them with a hose, using loud noises. Let them know they're not welcome, and hopefully they'll go away. There's just a little information there from the great folks at Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife. And again, I talked to Karen Waldrop and Sonny Carr the other day, so I thank them for their information.
I can't believe how much she's eaten. I mean, she is enjoying the grass.
You were hearing the feeding noises.
And the baby is sticking right with her.
You know what? She's so happy to be out of there. But
Yeah.
they needed that bonding period to get together.
Great.
And I mean, look, it's worked so well. And you know, this is part of farming. You talk about farm to table.
Yeah.
Something else that's farm to table. We got bees. Okay. I was a little worried about my bees, but I had the dance come down and take a look at them. I'll give you a hint. 2 of them are kind of okay. The other one didn't make it.
Good problems.
Lots of people lose a hive or 2 or 3 or 6, depending on how many they keep through the winter. But interesting stuff. Farm to table, bees to honey,
I like honey.
to belly.
That's right.
We're doing as much as we can right here, but we're going to get some help from Dadant. Now, people have been asking us, Andrew Fogg from Dadant here in Frankfurt, how's your bees doing? Well, you know what? I haven't cracked them this year. We've been very busy doing a lot of stuff. And I thought I'm going to get somebody in here from Dadant, which is right down the road. I didn't know about you guys until recently. You're one of the biggest bee outfitters in a long, long stretch of the country.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been around for 155 years. We're still a family-owned business. We have about 10 locations across the nation.
1863, that's a long time. Yeah. Now, I have not checked anything for a while. Now, last year we gathered a swarm, put them in a box, and that's pretty much where we're at. And they seem to be thriving.
All right, well, let's take a look, see what we got going on here. The small hole in here, they actually built up propolis completely around that hole to pretty much seal it up. You can literally pull the propolis out, roll it up, and that's beeswax. Propolis is, for the most part, beeswax.
Now, at this point, what are you looking for?
At this point, we're looking for brood. We want to pull out frames and see a good amount of brood right now. The queen should be in full gear, really laying eggs, and what we want to see is her laying a lot of eggs, because that gives us more of leeway to actually put another deep on so she can travel upwards and start laying more. Now, it's not 100% important that you find the queen when you're in your hive. A lot of people get caught up on trying to play a Where's Waldo where the queen is. Well, the queen's in here. Her evidence is all over the frames.
She's laying.
Yeah, she's doing a very good job laying. This is a queen cell, and she is sealed up. So they are expecting to either swarm or get a new queen. We have another queen cell. So we had one on this side of the frame, and we have another one right here. So you have 2 queens capped and ready to come out.
So when they're crowded, they're saying, okay, we need to branch out here.
We actually have a queen cell that is chewing its way out. There's little cracks right along the top. She's pushing that little cap right off. Oh, there she is, brand new queen. I think our best option maybe is to let them swarm. What she'll do, because she was that queen that we just saw hatched, was the first to emerge, she'll actually go around and sting the other queen cells. All these queen cells that are on here are her competition. Clearly, with that many amount of queens, they felt like they ran out of space. What we did before your top brood box, we're going to switch it up a bit, and we're going to use what is known as plasticell. Plasticell is, of course, plastic, and it is coated with wax.
And they're going to start sealing that up shortly, won't they?
Yes. These cracks along here, they will seal it up with propolis. What we'll also do is we'll open this entrance reducer here, because right now is the busy time. Right now is when they need the least amount of restraint going in and out of the hive.
So we've got 3 different situations. I lost one nuke box. So when the bees leave, that's the perfect place for somebody else to take up residence.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, imagine if you moved into a house that was already built and already had food.
Yeah.
Chock full of food.
The ants were digging that.
Yeah. There's 2 quick things, or 2 hard lessons with beekeeping. You're gonna get stung and you're gonna kill bees.
Yeah.
And it's the nature of the beast.
I've got another hive over here that was done, and I think somebody came in there. And this has happened to me a couple times. Is this common?
Yeah, that's common. I mean, it is a place. I mean, you have a box that's set up for bees to live, and also, more likely, when those bees died out, there was honey, there was food in there for them. So when they swarm, of course, they go up into a tree and they send out their scouts. Now, probably one of the scouts poked his head in there and said, "Oh, you know, there's tons of food. There's
Nobody
space.
home.
Yeah, there's nobody home. Let's just move right on in." So that's more likely what happened. So what we're finding is even in this bottom brood box, there's no brood, which is very odd for this time of year. They're just doing their thing. They're eating, which explains why there's no honey in the super yet. How do we fix that problem is the next step. Well, you did have a hive just over here with a bunch of queen cells in it. For a short-term solution, we can get one of those queens off of one of those frames.
Will they accept those other bees from that other hive, or will you mask their scent somehow?
I will not transfer any of the bees. You actually have a good number of bees here.
Right.
What we'll be transferring is solely just the brood with a queen cell on it.
Huh.
So they will actually take that brood and rear it. Bring that frame over, install it into this brood box. She'll hatch, you'll have a queen. And when we come back and check, hopefully we'll see brood. We should see brood.
What's the average lifespan of a bee?
Average lifespan of a bee right now is about 40 days.
Wow.
A lot of your bees that are actually going out and scavenging, a good portion of them actually won't make it back to the hive. By the time, because the last part of their life cycle is flying and gathering. So in that last stretch of their life, either their wings wear out or they get eaten or they don't make it back. Of course, there's still a good portion that make it back to the hive and they're able to produce enough pollen and produce enough nectar to get a good honey flow.
But each hive has its own personality, does it not?
Absolutely, and sometimes it actually is based on the characteristic of that bee. Your Italian, Carney, Caucasian, they seem to be more your mild-mannered bee. You can also have some Russian bees. Russian bees are they're a bit more aggressive, and in some cases you also can have not full Africanization, but some Africanization of a hive. And you'll know immediately when you have Africanization of a hive, because if you're sitting on your back deck and they're coming after you, that's an Africanized hive. If you do have a hive that's hunting you down every time you step foot outdoors, we, instead of course sealing up the hive and burning it, I would recommend hunting for that queen, which will be a hard task. Africanized behavior, when you open it up, they're going to hide. But we recommend finding that queen, pinching her head off, and replacing her with a more milder bee.
Folks see this segment, they want to find out more about bees. How do they do that?
Well, they can call us, and that phone number is 502-848-0000. And you can log on to Dadant.com and click on the shop tab and literally find just about anything you need.
Thank you so much for coming out today and helping us out. Very interesting to see that queen come out. You said it was National Geographic type stuff.
Oh yeah, I know. You may win an award for this.
We need all kinds of awards. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay, we love to go out west. We love to see the critters. We just went to Colorado. You know, we're always looking for ideas. I remembered something about bear camp. You know, when you're out there and you're seeing the mountains, and you want a snack, you want a natural snack. Right. And when I was at bear camp and out in Colorado and different places, some of the snacks that you can pick up in stores are local smoked trout.
Yummy.
Delicious. So our king, our star, our recipe for the night is smoked trout. So we've learned how to use the smoker. Now I'm going to show you my secret brine. And then it's just absolutely wonderful. You set it in the refrigerator, you let it set. When you're hungry, you peel off a piece. Yum.
Delicious.
It's delicious. Isn't it?
Yes.
Smoked trout. Now we've done this show over the last 2 days. Normally we don't do that, but you kind of see it going dark, getting light, and so on and so forth. So this didn't all happen in one day. This was a pretty tedious show. But we're out west.
That's right.
The glorious Rockies.
Beautiful.
What do we see every day?
Moose.
Moose.
The moose scared the elk away.
Yes.
Because we saw elk.
And a VRBO, which you might want to check out, Vacation Rental by Owner, you can stay in homes that are really, really nice for sometimes $80 a night, $90 a night.
We stayed in a nice little cabin.
In the mountains.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And the lady who owned the cabin said you're going to see moose. I thought she's talking about elk.
Asha was
By
sweet.
golly.
Yeah.
In the morning. But here's a few pictures that we took. I took some pictures of moose through the spotting scope. antelope,
Right.
all over the place.
And the moose, when you did see them, you couldn't get your camera because they stare at you. You stare at them. If you moved, out of there.
They were spooky.
Yes.
You couldn't get too close
They're
to them.
huge.
We're talking, we talked about the smoker and getting it
Right.
going. This isn't a quick and easy recipe, but it is something you can put in the smoker
Right.
and set aside. So this is an old brine that everybody uses, but the one thing that stands out in this that you need to use is put a little bit of lemon pepper in it. That's for the fish taste.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take 8 cups of water. That's our
half a
base.
gallon.
And we got 4 trout here. You can double this if you need to. They've been basically gutted, cut the heads off. You can leave the heads on them if you'd like. We're going to take 3/4 cup kosher salt. We're going to take 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of white sugar, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 1 tablespoon, you can go tablespoon and a half if you want, of your lemon pepper. And I'm going to put in 1/2 cup of soy sauce. That gives a little more salt. So you're going to mix that up, get your fish, drop those in there, and let those soak for about 6 to 8 hours. After they have brined, take them out and you let them dry. You might even want to put a fan on them. You can put them in the refrigerator for at least 30, 45 minutes. It almost looks like a little membrane over the top. It's called a pellicle. And that little membrane type thing lets it absorb more of the smoke flavor. So you want to let that dry. 200 to 225 degrees, depending on how much time you have, 2 to 4 hours. We eat what we've got.
Right.
But Mac at Elmwood Stock Farm, when you get your bag,
Right.
it says it's got asparagus, kale, spinach, strawberries, and then you turn on back and it says
Recipes.
recipes.
Yeah.
It's called a 2-seed dressing. 1/4 cup honey, 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds. You see those,
Right.
obviously. 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds. You don't see those because they're dark. 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar came in. Again, this is a black mission fig. It's just absolutely
this
wonderful.
world, yeah.
With the blood orange olive oil. 1/4 cup of each of those. Just a dash of Worcestershire sauce. Then just a dash of paprika, salt and pepper to taste, and boom, you got something special.
And this is good.
So we put some pecans on top and a little bit of grated cheese.
Cut up some strawberries.
Cut up some strawberries, spinach, and that wonderful dressing
And
that we're going to
pecans.
toss. And remember, the sweetener in here is our honey. But look at this, and I so wish you could smell this.
Wow.
Look at that. When it flakes like that, you know you're done. And that, my friends, a lot of people say they don't like trout. I bet they'd like this. I don't know anybody.
That is good. That goes good with the salad too. With the
That's the
sweet
idea.
over here. Oh yeah. Delicious.
Now remember, that needs to be about 160 for at least a half hour.
Wow.
Once you attain the 160, it needs to cook there for about a half hour.
That brine made it good.
Well, let's turn the camera off for a minute and chow. That was a widely varied show.
Yes, it was.
You know, our show is life as it happens, as it unfolds.
Right.
It's a sad story.
I felt awful.
You did.
I was so
It's
sick.
emotional. I sent you the picture. Kelly couldn't even look at the picture.
Yeah.
It's so sad to see it, but it is happening. There are actions you can take.
And look how cute.
And man, he's having fun.
He's so sweet.
Now, if I was seeing this trout recipe and I thought, I wonder if there are other recipes like that there, where would you go?
I go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
You would not.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I do too.
I do.
Because I forget to measure stuff.
Right.
So I look back and say, oh, that's how I did that. And when somebody asks me, what about this particular recipe right here?
You say go to
I say go to
timfarmerscountrykitchen.
timfarmerscountrykitchen.com, click on recipes, and there you go. Now, also, if you want a little flag to pop up whenever a new show comes out, all you gotta do is hit subscribe. And being a Facebook friend is easy. What do you do,
right.
Mrs. Former?
You hit like.
Boom. That's it. That's all you got to do. One time, like, you're in. We talk about stuff. We talk about recipes. People message us all the time. We try to get back as soon as we possibly can. We talk to folks online, and it's a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
And once again, that was a widely varied show, but our half hour is over.
That's right.
So what is it all about?
Good times
Good friends.
and good eats.
Let's go get a bite. Let's watch these babies.
To order a cookbook, please call 502-319-0487 or email timfarmerck@gmail.com.